Next item.
Item 9B, adopt resolution approving the San Bruno Community Foundation 2018-19 budget.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Just have a very brief report before we introduce Leslie Hadamia, who will have a short PowerPoint presentation. So as the City Council knows, the bylaws of the Community Foundation require that the City Council approve its budget every year, and you've done that for all of the years that the foundation has been in existence. And this year is no different. We've included the budget for your review. It was adopted by the foundation at their last meeting, and Director Hadamia is here to provide you with some details about what the foundation has accomplished in the last year, a great many things, and what their budget looks like for your review. So with that, I'll turn it over to Leslie.
Thank you. Honorable Mayor and council members, thank you for the opportunity to speak to you this evening on behalf of the San Bruno Community Foundation. I am Leslie Hadamia, the Executive Director, and with me this evening are two of our board members, our Secretary John McLaughlin and Board Member Emily Roberts. I appreciate the opportunity to be able to give you some of the highlights of the past year for the foundation. After a brief startup phase that focused mainly on the administrative end of things, for the past 2 years, we have been busy launching and administering a broad array of programs that utilize, for the benefit of the entire San Bruno community, the restitution funds resulting from the 2010 gas pipeline explosion. First, let me just highlight the two programs that the foundation runs. The first is a Crestmore Scholarship. In February of 2016, we launched the Crestmore Neighborhood Memorial Scholarship to honor the community members who most directly endured the 2010 tragedy, especially the 8 members who lost their lives. This scholarship assists San Bruno students who have demonstrated a deep commitment to the San Bruno community. Earlier this month, we awarded our third set of college scholarships totaling $120,000 to 9 impressive San Bruno High School and community college graduates. I want to thank those council members who were able to join us at our board meeting and reception earlier this month, and especially to the mayor who spoke and addressed the scholarship winners as well. Hopefully you've had a chance to read their biographies. They're a very impressive group and really give us hope for the future, and we really see them as future leaders in this community. Our second program is the Community Grants Fund. We also created this in 2016, and it allows local community groups the ability to apply for funding of up to $25,000 in grants for programs that benefit the San Bruno community. At the end of 2017, we awarded our second set of community grants, which totaled $300,000, thanks in part to a generous $100,000 donation from YouTube and Google. The 23 grants, sorry that it is so small, but it shows you how many grants we gave out. We gave out 23 this year to a wide, diverse array of community groups, everything from the Catholic Worker Hospitality House doing homelessness work, to Samoan Solutions for their cultural work, and to the Center for Independence of Individuals with Disabilities. The city received 2 of the community grants, one for the Narita Sister City Exchange Program and another for a bike fix-it station near the BART station. We will launch our third community grant cycle next week with an application deadline of September 26th. And I'm happy to announce for the first time tonight that YouTube and Google.org have again agreed to contribute $100,000 to this program, and so with our $200,000 from the foundation, we will again be able to give out $300,000 in community grants at the end of this year. We've also been thrilled to support local public schools through 2 separate strategic initiatives. The first is our Music Education Strategic Initiative, which we launched a year ago, and it aims to make music education a hallmark of San Bruno's public schools. We're providing nearly $500,000 over 3 years to the San Bruno Education Foundation and the Cappuccino High School Alumni Association to benefit the music programs at all of the San Bruno Park School District schools and Cappuccino High School. We just completed year 1 of the initiative, during which we funded the Music for Minors program at all 6 elementary schools, We funded instrument and equipment purchases at Parkside Intermediate School. And as you can see on the slide, we funded beautiful new uniforms for the Cappuccino Marching Band, which they wore at the Posey Parade in the photos. We look forward to the initiative's inaugural Music in the Air community concert, which will showcase all of the music programs and take place this fall. The foundation also recently approved a $250,000 strategic grant to support the San Bruno Park School District's transformation efforts. The funding will cover the program implementation fees for the SEAL literacy program being implemented at Allen and Bel Air elementary schools, particularly to benefit the large population of English learners in grades kindergarten through grade 3 at those schools. The funds will also allow Parkside to utilize the expertise of partners in school innovation to transform the culture at the middle school and provide better support for the teachers and leadership team there. Both of these programs are aimed at increasing academic achievement in the district. And finally, we're excited about the many different programs and projects we are funding in partnership with the city itself. So we are proud to support the city's plan to build a new recreation and aquatics center in San Bruno City Park with a commitment of $50 million, which you just heard about. We're funding the conceptual design phase, which is just being completed, with a $550,000 grant, which is part of the $50 million. We look forward to hearing from the city about the next steps in this project, including the city's business plan for operating this much-needed new resource. And we look forward to partnering with the city to fund the next stage of the project. In 2017, the foundation committed $200,000 to support the city's development of the new Florida Avenue Park as well. We dispersed this grant to the city several months ago, and we look forward, as you all do, to the park's completion. For the past 3 years, the foundation has been a proud sponsor of the city's Community Day in the Park. This year, we also assisted the city in bringing in additional sponsors, including the Samet Family Foundation, YouTube, PG&E, Skyline College, and Recology San Bruno. And together, they collectively contributed $26,000 to the event, which was enjoyed just 3 weekends ago in the park. We're also thrilled to partner with the city and YouTube to bring pedestrian safety improvements to San Bruno this year, with $126,000 from YouTube and $138,000 from the foundation. Flashing beacons now aid pedestrians at 3 unsignalized crosswalks, 2 at Parkside, which is the photo on the left, and 1 at Portola Elementary School. A 4th set of flashing beacons will appear on the south end of San Mateo Avenue in the next couple of weeks, and a final set will be installed later this summer near John Muir Elementary School, which will see increased traffic with the closure of El Crystal. And finally, in March, the board approved a strategic grant totaling about $161,000 to the city for 3 projects aimed at enhancing the effectiveness of San Bruno's first responders. These projects are police mindfulness training, emergency shelter supplies, the purchase of which the council approved in the consent calendar tonight, and critical facilities site assessments and action plans. The initiative was, unfortunately, very timely, approved by the board just prior to the YouTube shooting at the beginning of April. As a way to say thank you to the community for its support, Google pledged $100,000 to our first responder initiative and agreed to match donations from Google and YouTube employees. With the matching, the entire Google and YouTube donation is likely to total about $300,000. We are now in discussions with city staff about additional first responder projects in the city to be funded by these additional donations. I think you'll agree that it's been another very busy year for the foundation, and we're very pleased with where we are. In accordance with our bylaws, before the council this evening is consideration of the foundation's fiscal year 2018-19 budget. Just a few words about the budget. The expenses include nearly $5 million in direct program and disbursements, including a $4 million anticipated disbursement for the next phase of the Recreation and Aquatic Center project, and the balance for scholarships, community grants, a second first responder grant, Community Day, and the School Transformation Strategic Grant, plus about $390,000 in support costs. We do not show investment income for our two investment accounts on our budget and internal monthly financial statements, as they do not reflect the amount of funds that are actually available for operations. The board designates the payout or amount to transfer from both pools to cover the year's cash flow needs. Thus, what the budget shows are the funds actually available for operations in the coming year. It shows that we're taking a 1.95% payout from the quasi-endowment, which will cover our community grants and scholarship cash needs, which is about $320,000, and then the balance will come from our strategic pool of about $4 million. We respectfully ask the City Council to approve the Foundation's 2018-19 budget, and this action will allow the Foundation to keep moving forward on its current trajectory to use the restitution funds to enhance the quality of life for all of us in San Bruno. Before I close, I'd just like to acknowledge by name the other board members who have been key to the Foundation's success and are not with us tonight: President Nancy Krause, Vice President Frank Headley, Treasurer Tim Ross, and board members Pat Bohm and Dr. Regina Standback-Stroud. I'd also like to acknowledge the volunteer service of our Foundation's investment committee, which has done a tremendous job in shepherding and overseeing our investment accounts. They include, in addition to Treasurer Tim Ross, who chairs the committee, and Vice President Headley, community members Tony Clifford, Mark Hayes, and Georgianne Perkins. Additionally, the Foundation has benefited considerably from the support of City Manager Connie Jackson and City Attorney Mark Zaffarano. I hope that you'll agree that the Foundation has had a very productive year again this past year, and I'm happy to answer any questions you may have about our activities or our budget.
Thank you, Leslie. Questions from council? Michael?
Through the chair, thank you. Leslie, I just want to say thank you for all the work that you've done. I was part of the council that established the Foundation, and I think that you and the board have done an amazing job of bringing that vision that we had to reality, and it's really amazing what you're doing. I do have one question. Looking forward to the time when our new recreation center is completely built and that $5 million is no longer part of your investment pool, how is that going to impact your operations? That's seriously going to hinder. Are you planning for new sources of revenue post the $50 million payout?
So the way we divided the original approximately $70 million that came in, $15 million was set aside to be treated as like an endowment, and that has now grown to $17.5 million. And hopefully by the time the whole $50 million is dispersed, that will have grown even slightly higher. And at a minimum, that source of funding would be able to continue the Foundation at a smaller scale. In addition to the $50 million going out for the recreation center, there probably, depending on how the markets do over the next couple of years, there should be several more $1 million that may be dispersed either in other larger grants or could be put into that quasi-endowment to help fund the Foundation on an ongoing basis. As you've seen, we've also been able to attract some money from Google and other community partners, and we will continue to do that as appropriate. And at some point, as we scale down, that may become a bigger part of our operations, and we'll have to figure that out as we move forward.
Sounds great. Thank you. And thanks to the board.
Laura?
Just to piggyback on Councilmember Salazar's comments, I mean, this has really been a great opportunity for San Bruno, and the continued donations and the avenues that probably never would have happened in some of these cases. So I think it's really been a win-win for the city. Not only did we get the funds, and we've got this beautiful community center that we're going to see in the future, but this opportunity to really raise funds and to give back to our community is pretty amazing. So fabulous. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Other questions or comments, Marty?
I just want to say thank you for all the work you do in the board, and I think it's just incredible that you're able to bring music back yeah, and support those that need a little bit more help in our schools. And clearly, the park is something that our community is waiting for. And I just had one question on the typical return of the quasi endowment. I know there's a whole plan on that, but what's your goal of a return on those funds? Like,
I don't know that we have an exact percent goal. It's being invested sort of under a traditional endowment strategy. It's a mix of about 60 to 70% more on the equity side, 30 to 40% on fixed income, which is sort of a traditional endowment strategy for investment. We have gone from 15 million 2 years ago to already being at 17.5 million in just a short amount of time, with a slight drawdown on that to pay out for community grants and scholarships these past 2 years. The overall, just so you know, we took about $70 million from the city. Our total investment portfolio at the end of May was at about 73.5 million, and that's in addition to all of the funds we have spent over the past several years. So we have, with investment income, have covered all of our expenses up till now and made a little bit more.
okay, thank you.
Any other questions or comments from council? There is a resolution. Any action?
I'll introduce the resolution approving their budget.
Councilmember Medina?
Aye.
Councilmember O'Connell? Aye. Councilmember Salazar?
Aye.
Vice Mayor Davis?
Aye.
Mayor Medina?
Aye.